Anyways, we are live now and recording. So welcome YouTube. My name is Angel from Shadow of Gaming, and I'm joined today by the wonderful and awesome. I'll let you introduce
Got
yourself.
a GATOATTACK, YouTube Andy over here.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, so I'm going to be going into this video blind, but what are some of your premonitions slash, I don't know, from what you've seen of it already?
I will say this, like I think one of the things a lot of people who know kind of when I get really excited about a game, I like just spam a bunch of videos. Like for example, when Elden Ring was coming out, uh, I'm excited about this game, but I haven't done that. So that should be kind of a. Oh, am I echoing?
Are
Am
you?
I echoing?
Oh no, it's on me because my mic is super sensitive, so I actually switched it to a more 10 decibels. You know what? Let me put my headphones on.
Oh, I know your worries.
But yeah, so continue. So you
Yeah. So
didn't. Yeah.
So I haven't done that, and that should tell you kind of that maybe there's something going on, and I'm on the fence basically, but I'm still excited for the game. But I don't want to spoil it for you. But
All
if
right.
you want a good inclination of kind of why I'm on the fence, I would watch the first gameplay trailer, which has Robin and Batgirl. Really, you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch a little bit of it, and then watch the new one. It's I can explain later, but they're completely different trailers, two different games, and it's kind of concerning in that sense.
Okay. Okay. Let me go back to plus 10 decibels. Going loud. There we go. Yeah, because like the most I've seen of this game is coming from the E3 announcement, and then after that, so I'm decently caught up on a lot of what the game offers and what it's going to be about. Like how
Hmm.
just looking at this page alone. All right, so we're going to deal with the Court of Owls. Batman is dead, and we're going to be playing as all four of the Bat Children, so to speak.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is the Batman is absolutely dead in this. He is 100% dead. You ain't gonna see Batman in it. All right, everybody, calm down. Literally, the studio has told you you are not going to see Batman. He is
he is
100% dead.
he's officially worm food this time.
Yeah, he is absolutely dead.
All right. So going into this, I saw on Twitter that it's only going to be two players at a time, which irks me incredibly hard.
Yep,
How do
I
you
agree. Go ahead. Sorry.
how thank you. How do you have four playable characters but only two can play at a time? I mean like
Now, I don't want to. I want to be. I'm going to say it the nice way, but it's some bullshit because
that's fine.
the thing is this is what I don't understand. So, like, if you look at the first trailer, they kind of went with like the Marvel Avengers approach, where
Right here,
you
right?
had, yeah, the very first trailer, you had basically level 60 lower level thugs, basically the same level as like Mister Freeze. Like that makes no sense to me, right? And they had that way because if you think about it, if you had four players that would be way too easy. So they would scale it down to two people to make the grind an actual grind, right? Because they're still going to be selling cosmetic packs. They're going to still be doing all that. As to why you look at the collector's edition, they have all that there. So that's why when you see the new trailer, you don't see all those health bars and everything. But they built the game originally to be basically Marvel's Avengers, which is annoying as hell. Like,
It's
I don't know.
formulaic when it comes to what games are doing these days.
Exactly. It's not because they can't do it. It's 100% because they're trying to stretch the game out, which is kind of bullshit.
Okay. Well, let's see. Should we go through the whole 12 minutes of the first video, or should we just like where should we? What are some of the key points we should look through in the first
Oh no,
trailer?
you can pull it up and just skim it.
Yep.
Um, the
All right.
one of the things you want to look at is kind of look at how they walk, how the characters walk.
All right.
Um,
Let's do this.
that's the first immediate thing you should look at.
Yeah. And I'm sharing screen in Discord, so if you wanna simul watch with me.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There was smoke,
Get the
and
setup.
emergency services have confirmed that they've discovered a body buried in the
All
wreckage.
right, so yeah, this is the premise. Build up.
Was automatically
Everyone gets the message. He dead.
Some of the
I
technology is out.
before we start tearing ass though, this looks fantastic. Just graphically speaking, cinematics. I mean, like for AAA, that is the standard right here in my book. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it's
Those
awesome.
textures. And like, even if I'm gonna play on potato, I know I'm still gonna enjoy watching the cutscenes. That's gonna be for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Cutscenes are gonna be dope. Hopefully, knock on wood, but they should be.
Now the interesting choice here is getting Red Hood.
Yeah. So what's first thing immediately? So they already told us that the bullets he's using are non-lethal. So it's just kind of like, um, I wish they would have gone in this phase of Red Hood because like he eventually reverts back to like, okay, I'm not gonna kill people, but I'm gonna still kill people, just not as often. I wish they would have gave him maybe like a melee approach, and then had the guns as like a secondary type ability, right? Rather
Hmm.
than being like his main thing. Because like if you look at the next trailer when we get there,
Hmm.
it looks bad. Like it doesn't like it looks pointless
Okay.
because the enemies are squishy.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw a little bit of some gameplay footage on Twitter where like yeah he's just like blasting dudes, but it's also like well he's got like an unfair advantage. He's pretty ranged, so
yeah,
like yeah
but but it's like imagine you got people playing Batman, Robin, jumping around doing backflips and shit, and then you got
you got Red Hood
yeah,
just
but
capping a
you got
dude.
you got the Red Hood playing the Division because he's over here unloading clips on it. But squishy enemies. Like it's crazy. Like it's weird. I don't know. I think it's cool. Like I think he looks fucking dope. But
Yeah,
I just wish they would have given him a melee option because I think the over reliance on guns for him is like it
I
just
mean the
doesn't work
fact
in the
that he
game.
looks like Deadpool in this shot alone already screams.
Yeah, everyone was talking about that. That's so funny.
All right, let's see. How does wait? Hold on. Another thing, really quick. Just going through this. There. How the fuck do you afford this? How do you tell a civil engineer? All right, so I'm going to want some death traps right here, right? I need a saw wall, but it spins a saw totem pole.
I don't know. Like this is they really go all the works. Every thing they're like, you know what? Whatever we got on the drawing board, put it in there.
We're throwing it
Yeah, we're throwing
in.
it in.
Hell yeah. That looks really cool. Coming soon to Saw 7. Exactly, Nebu. Exactly. So everyone's gonna have the exact same bat bike, though, right?
Not exactly. No,
No? Okay.
no. That's part of the cosmetic stuff they're gonna be doing. Like the collector's edition, they get a different one, and then there's a pre-order one.
Okay.
So they're doing all that jazz.
Okay. Right here, this shot alone looks super 40k.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a 40k shot right here. Yeah. But let's see. What can I skip through? So is Mr. Freeze gonna be like one of the early enemies or like one of the later enemies? And are we doing this like division
Oh,
style?
I don't actually know. That's the real question.
Hmm.
And because they delayed this game for a long, like almost a year.
Hmm.
You know, it's pretty bad. Like it's like they changed so much in the new trailer, but
Hmm.
like I don't know if it's copium. I think it's copium. Is what it is. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's really it's hard to tell because the base game was like the division. Like if the enemies are the same quote unquote level as the boss, then really what is the difference? The one's artificial level 60 with more health bars, but it's still level 60. Don't make a difference. You're just hitting it more.
One's just a fist sponge versus just a one hit knockout kind of thing. And
But that's the thing. But that's the thing, though. They're not one hit. They're none of them are. You still gotta like, and that's what's crazy. It's like you level scale, but like it doesn't really make a difference. If that makes sense.
yeah. See, whereas other games like Borderlands, where they cover handling stuff like that, they'll just scale up the enemies, make them more tougher to fight. You know, like that makes
Mhm.
sense. Or
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying it works for games like that. I think it does not work for a game like this because it's all hand to hand combat. except for the Red Hood, who's basically playing the division. Right,
Right.
you're unloading magazines on like one enemy. It's just like if you play the other Arkham games, like it works perfectly. It's like okay, at most it's gonna take 5 punches and maybe a knee to the face to knock this guy out, right?
Right.
Not, hey, I'm the Red Hood. I'm going to use 7 magazines on
To
one
knock
guy.
out one dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like with beat 'em up games like this, like I find it super satisfying to get like a 5-hit combo off and then chain it right to the next guy, right to the next guy.
Yeah.
But then like I get the tank dude, and then like me and the other partner would just be like, I'm wheeling him in from the front, my friends get him from the back, while the other 5 people or like the other 2 people are like doing some backflip knockouts in the other on in the back.
hmm
Like you get more goons to go with that. Then like that would make more sense in terms of
hmm
scaling it.
I think that would have been a better approach, is just to have more enemies rather
Yeah.
than like, okay, let's have fewer or like the same amount and just make them squishier.
Yeah, like just scale it. Like and this applies to like how my DMs do it in Dungeons and Dragons, where like, all right, if I can't make it to the session, we're just gonna hide off a couple of the enemies that we had here. But if I'm gonna be in session, all right, here's all the other dudes that were gonna be in this fight entirely, kind of
I
thing. So
agree.
like, yeah. But in recent games, like I said, um, no, I haven't played too much of the Division, so I can't really explain on that end. But like with Far Cry 6 and Ghost Recon Wildlands, you could technically start with any boss. It's just where do you
hmm
want to go first, right? So I feel like, do you think that's how they might approach with like the enemies in this game, especially with the open world Gotham?
I would say maybe because it's super formulaic, right? That's Ubisoft. Like
Mm.
they get a cookie cutter and they chop them up, right? They say, "All right, we're gonna put all these games in the oven. They are gonna be all exactly the same. Let's do
Mm.
that." And the thing is, a lot of game studios have been doing that, which is why a lot of indie studios have been popping off lately.
Right.
I think
They
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 will
steer
do
from the
that,
formula. Mm.
but I don't think it will work for a game like this at all, right? Because like a Far Cry, it's just like you're you. I don't know, like if any of the Ubisoft games, at one point you can keep playing it, but the game has already ended a long time ago, right? Because their games are meant to just be grind fest or just to keep playing.
Right.
Uh, but a game like this, there has to be a point where like, okay, you are done now. You should stop playing because the story is
You
done.
need that definitive like end chapter, end cutscene, end sequence.
Exactly. That's
Mm.
what made the Arkham games good. Is that the end is here. You have ended this story now. You can play another character who has a shorter story that's DLC, but the story has ended because the decisions you've made are impactful. But if you go with the formulaic approach with Ubisoft, the game doesn't ever end because you're going to get the next one and the next one and the next one. And it's going to be the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't work for
Yeah,
a game like
you'll
this.
just
At
be
least.
going through the cycle, and then like I guess one thing that is kind of a symptom of that in modern gaming is just the post game, the post game
Mhm.
content. Where it's like, all
Yeah,
right, cool. I already beat up the big bad final boss. Now it's time to go back and collect all the flags, that kind of thing, or like unlock every chest that was
exactly.
offered.
Like
Yeah.
that was the kind of the point with like the original Arkham games is you would finish the story, you load your last save, and then go collect the Riddler's trophies. You do all the side quests, or you do all the different puzzles. Like that's the fun. That's other fun stuff that you can do. That wasn't required, right? Like I wasn't required in a single player game to just collect a bunch of trophies to just move on to levels, right? Like I'm not required to do that. Whereas if you look at the Avengers, you look at kind of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? They're
Yep.
very like cookie cutter. Not saying that they're bad games, right? It's just that
They follow
appeals to
the
the most people.
formula.
Yeah, it's widely acceptable, but at the same time, it doesn't make it a great game, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like look at Elden Ring, who broke all those norms. It's successful, like better than any other game, any of those the games that came out recently this year. It's
Hmm.
probably gonna win Game of the Year this year, hands
Oh
down.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like hands down, I'm willing to put money on that and say like, yeah, Elden Ring is game of the year. But again, shout outs to a lot of the other games that did come out this year. Kirby and Horizon Zero
Yeah,
Dawn. Like those
of
two
course.
came out like at the exact same time, and they also did the open world formula hugely different in continuing their stories too.
Sure, but like look at how close they were to the original formula. Like Horizon Zero Dawn was still pretty close to the you got your hub world, your main hub world. Everything's explained to you, like you know where things are in the mini map. Whereas Elden Ring, it's like go find it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta make the story. The story's there. You just gotta find it. Whereas like if you were to pull up the map of Horizon Forbidden West,
It's like, all right, go to
well,
these points, and here you go. Here's your ending.
you how many towers do you climb in Horizon Forbidden West to reveal the map?
Often.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's successful, but it's not much of a difference from Ubisoft at all. Like, I mean, it is. It's way better game than any Ubisoft game. But that's because the story was good, right?
Right.
But the gameplay, the game itself, was so cookie cutter. But the first one was really good because it was different. But you can't do the same thing twice.
It's
And
lightning
make
in
it
a
even-
bottle.
Yeah, I still think they can. That franchise is gonna be fine. Like, I trust the studio behind that game.
Oh yeah, especially
But
with how much work they put into it too, for sure.
yeah, yeah. It's just, but the thing is, you got too many games like the Arkham Knights, for example, who were popular because they weren't that. They weren't Horizon Forbidden West. They weren't.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this isn't Batman anymore. We are the kids of Batman that we were essentially adopted, and now we got to go figure out what happened to our father figure, kind of thing, essentially happening.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like people are gonna play this for the story. They're not playing this to play Marvel's Avengers DC version, right?
Right.
They're not. That's
Like as much as I want to beat people up as uh any of the Robins, like Robin number 5, like I
yeah.
want to know like what's happening in the story and how it ties to any of the other like events that happen in the Arkham
Mhm.
games. So I still haven't played any of the Arkham games. I'm sorry. I know I should.
Highly recommend them, all of
I
them.
know.
I mean,
I know.
Origins gets a lot of flack, but honestly, I think it was okay. It's a good. It's like an
Yeah.
average game. It
Yeah,
wasn't the
like
greatest, but it's average.
I know people have their gripes about it because it's technically a prequel, but you have all the cool gadgets of like the later games.
Hmm.
But that's what happens when you make a prequel. Like you end up just like, oh shoot, you know what? This mechanic works fine. Let's go back and use that. So yeah. Um like the only DC game experience right now that I have, I can say definitively, is the Injustice series. I've played at least
Mm.
Injustice 1. So in terms of, well, no, I also played um Gotham Knights, the FPS game. That one was a lot of fun. I feel like that one's underrated, honestly.
Are you talking about Gotham City Imposters?
Yeah, Gotham Imposters, that's the one.
Yeah, that's just good. You can actually
Yeah.
find private servers. People have their own servers playing
Oh hell yeah.
because they
I-
shut the servers down like 3 years ago, but you can still find people playing it.
Oh yeah,
Private server.
I'm pretty sure. And like I'd say that was a pretty underrated. Like it was a fresh concept that if you want a multiplayer experience, that's the way to go with it. Whereas like with something like this, you want to give it that at least like a Lego Star Wars experience where it's like you already know the story, now you're just doing it in a fun way. You're just experiencing it in a different aesthetic and style, right?
100%.
Yeah. But let's see this takedown really quick. So we got like a level 10 enemy right here that we're gonna be taking down.
Yep.
Oh hell yes. Brutal.
This'll only take a second.
So
Oh,
Let's
go
see.
back and pause the screen real quick.
yeah, right here in the split
So-
screen.
When you see that, what do you think that tells you about a game?
So right here, this is like the same level, two different viewpoints of the game, where you have different approaches and how you can do a takedown versus like just one solid way of going through it, at least. That
Let me ask you
or it's the
this.
same level and this is not like Batgirl's on the B side of it now, like the flip version of it.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you this: any other game that you see this, does that tell you it's couch co-op?
Yeah, like if I see this split screen, I'm gonna assume it's couch co-op for sure.
And so the crazy thing is, it's not. So it's crazy because they showed that, and obviously it's part of the presentation. So like,
Right. But
so we, but it kind of goes back to the idea that this game was not purposely not intended to have more players from the get go. They said one person per console per PC, two people max, rather than being like, okay, we're gonna do four people, or at least two people couch co-op. Right? The mentality wasn't there to make as many people to play the game. It was how many copies can we sell, right?
right. And I feel like that's a symptom of what happened with the last gaming generation from the
Mhm.
PS4 and Xbox One era, where like, yep, nope, we are chopping split screen. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like like there's countless days where like I've played split screen with my brother, and like, you know, like I love to do that. Where like I guess I have a friend over who's like, yo, want to play some Arkham Knights, you know, or something like that. I would love that. And yeah.
but yeah,
Um, but the other thing of like going back to this, like imagine doing coordinated takedowns and just full stealthing a level with three of your
oh yeah,
buddies. You know, like oh,
100%.
that'd be so
It's
satisfying.
yeah, we
Like
need some more stealth games. So
hell
this would
yeah.
hopefully do that for us. Hopefully.
hmm Oh man, I'm still gonna vouch for like we need Ghost Recon Future Soldier 2. That
Hmm.
for so when I do my other gaming video, that's what I'm gonna be talking about. They're like, we need Future Soldier 2, please and thank you.
Oh,
But
100%.
but yeah, but like I'd want to be like I would probably play as Nightwing and then just like do like a stealth takedown, like doing the whole like upside down, grab a dude, flip him up, and then like have Batgirl jump out of a vent and grab a dude. You know, like I
Oh,
want to see that.
did you see the combo, the double combo in this video? They do that.
I think I did, but let me see.
If you go a little bit forward, once they're fighting downstairs,
Yeah,
or what? Yeah, yeah, just yeah.
there we go.
It's crazy. So like that, like look at the video where she's like jumping around and hitting people. Like
Yeah.
honestly, that's all unnecessary. Like just make the villains guard.
Oh
and
yeah.
give them a block.
Let's see.
It's towards the last guy. That guy.
Up. Oh, that's satisfying.
Hmm.
Yeah, killer combos like that are awesome. But again, it sucks that it's only two. See, now what they could have done with if they had four players is, all right, now we got like a beefier enemy, like, you know, Fat Boy Tank type dude, right?
Hmm.
That would require four people, QTE type thing to combo him. That would make
Yeah.
it really cool.
Yeah. It would be like, hey, we gotta actually coordinate on what we're doing because if someone keeps missing their cues,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be mad.
Exactly, you know? And
Yeah.
that's the thing about multiplayer is you need to have that teamwork that really
Hmm.
ties in and really makes it like a more weird to say intimate experience with your player team buddies, you know? But like just to be able to like, all right, 3, 2, 1, go, and you know, just have that to have
Yeah.
that kind of a thing.
Or
But yeah,
like just make this level required to like, okay, let's say if you want to appease kind of the well, we can't have too many people and make it too easy, make it short game. Okay, just make okay, whoever's playing Robin, Batgirl go one way in the story no matter what, and then
ooh,
Nightwing and Red Hood go to another way. Like so it incentivizes people to play different characters for the story.
yeah, yeah,
It's kind
yeah,
of like what Dead Space 3 did, where you have two different characters and then, you know, each has their individual story as they're going along.
yep,
It's not a new concept. There's just so many better ways they could have done it
yeah.
if they went with the player first approach, which is I'm praying to God, please be good. like, like I pre-ordered the fucking collector's edition. Please be good.
Oh, you know, just like camp outside GameStop for that midnight release, right? You know, get that trophy right
Yeah.
there.
I'm making so many mistakes I tell people not to do, but like I was right with Elden Ring. Maybe I'll be right with this one.
Hey, you know what? It's a flip of a coin. 50-50 is not that bad, right? When it comes to
Yeah.
odds.
Hey, you know, 1 and 1 for 1 year, that's fine. I'll take those. That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Break even.
Oh, what's it called? But I like what you said there about splitting the team up between like Robin and Batgirl and then Nightwing and Red Hood. because story wise, you know, it's the youngest and the oldest being paired up, and then like also other games that did that, Gears of War, which I'm going to be talking about later, and just how
Exactly.
that, yeah, dude, like that's a great example of like something we could do, and that would still work in a couch co-op setting too. Come on,
Exactly.
you're losing money by not doing couch co-op.
I also want to say this too. So,
Mm.
you know how Microsoft's trying to acquire Activision?
Yeah.
This studio specifically was part of Warner Bros. Was trying to sell this studio that worked on this game, which is interesting enough. So, a little fun fact. It's like something to think about why those two games were originally they were planned to release in the same game, which is the Suicide Squad, or in the same year. They were gonna have two games released in the same year because they were
Yeah.
gonna sell the studios. So there's a lot of red flags, but besides the point.
Oh man, I'll be honest. I'm kind of hyped for Suicide Squad just because it's not number one, it's part of the Injustice universe, and number two, it's just wacky and it doesn't want to take itself seriously, and that's the charm of it.
Yeah, and that's honestly I'm more excited about that one because it's like you can't take that game serious. Like you can't go super serious with that game.
No,
Literally
you can't.
mess that game up. Like you just have to have fun with it.
It's
Whereas
like what
this one,
happened with Suicide Squad 1 versus Suicide Squad 2. But
exactly.
but you were saying though about like with this game,
Yeah.
it's
But this one, it's like the bread and butter is because it is serious, right? Like, you gotta know your tone. Like, you just gotta know who you're making this game. Like, yeah, it's gonna sell well because kids are gonna play it. You know, I'm an old head. Fuck it, whatever.
right.
But the OGs aren't gonna buy this shit if they feel like it's like make
It's
the
very
Suicide
out of
Squad-
touch by comparison.
Exactly. It's not an Arkham game. It doesn't. I mean, they said it's not, but I mean, it's kind of, but not really.
Is the spiritual successor, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see how this boss fight goes. I'm just gonna kind of ooh.
See, and that's what I'm saying. They got examples of that traversal. And
Yeah, that is
separation.
this is still the Bat family. You're gonna be doing Batman shit, even though it's not Arkham.
Oh, you're gonna love that next trailer then. After what you just said,
Oh boy. Okay then.
it's gonna bite you.
Oh
It's gonna bite
boy.
us all.
All right, here. Let's just
Look at
fast
that.
forward a bit.
Oh,
Coming back
that
to this
looks-
though, the suits.
it
Those
looks
are nice.
great.
Oh, Mr. Freeze. That is badass. It's time to chill out.
I will say this. It's definitely the boss fights are much better than the ones in the Avengers. Just on this one alone. Like the
Okay.
boss fights in the Avengers was trash. But this one looks already way better than any of the ones that were in that game. So
In how so? Like in terms of its cinematic value, in terms of its combat, in terms of its
and just mechanics. Just
Okay.
mechanics. It's just Avengers was like, okay, enemy in the middle, punch him, shit falling from the sky.
Right.
Stay away from the red circles. It's like kind of like an MMO-esque, but not
Okay.
as complex, like a simple version of it. Whereas
Right.
this, it's a little bit more involved because the third person is so close to your shoulder, like you can't really just zoom out all the way
Right.
and see the whole map. You'll see.
Okay. Yeah, because like with Arkham, like you fight Bane, right? And like one of the key things is to cut Bane's like tubes.
Yeah. But you see how he leaves and he moves back.
Is that as
Yep.
the player increases in power and ability, their foes keep pace.
The health bar is going down way too fast, honestly.
It's gonna be a very
Yeah.
different proposition
I see what you mean about that. Where they could easily just cheese him.
Like
and not just in terms
it's
of stats, but in
it's
kinds
literally
of
like if
tasks
there
and
wasn't
events
any
that they would
gameplay mechanics or like boss mechanics, the
Yeah.
fight would probably last as long as the fight they just did.
Right. Between knocking down all the other dudes, where it's like maybe like a 5-minute encounter.
Exactly, and that's the biggest problem I have. It's like you got to make boss fights way longer, but like meaningful, because you don't do them all the time. You just do them when you do them.
Don't look at me as I just cheese one. As I take down one boss in 3 minutes in Elden Ring.
Yeah, but that's fine though. But that's the whole point. It's like you do it. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna be good, unless you have the intention of, oh no, I'm gonna make everybody do this boss 100 times just to play the game. It's like, no.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know what I
That's a
mean?
good story. Yeah.
That's what the Avengers did. It's like you're gonna play this boss whether you like it or not, and you need to keep playing it.
Oh, and you're gonna grind out this one boss just to get like a percentage of a chance for an item to drop.
Exactly.
Yep, I get that. All right, let's see this new one though. This one I'm going in full blind on, so
Hi, I'm Jeff Eleanor, game director at Warner Brothers Games Montreal, and today I'm
I'm sorry, but why does he look like he's wearing a bald cap? I'm sorry.
There's a video online that makes fun of like gameplay trailers. They say if it's like there's like a kind of cookie cutter announcement trailer where it's like developer comes in front of the screen, starts talking about it, shows gameplay that's work in progress. Oh, it's not the final product. Gameplay looks clunky. Trust us, it's gonna be great when it comes out. Like Battlefield did it, like Cyberpunk did it. Like it's a meme by now. Like as soon as
It's the common knowledge that yeah, everyone's doing it this way. I'm like, no.
you see in the title says gameplay demo. The first thing you see that's like explaining the game is some dude standing in front of a green screen. Fuck, like I don't need this. Get this guy out of here.
Yeah, it's already implied. Like, just show us.
Yeah, just show us.
Now, if there's anyone who did do that right recently, Saints Row. Saints Row did that fantastic.
What are you talking about, the customization trailer?
Yeah. Dude, that was wild. Good to see how
crazy.
much you can customize in that game. Oh, I'm excited for that one though. Like, I'm a fan of the Saints Row series, so I'll go with it. But let's see what's going on here. What do we got? Now, in terms of the scale of the city, I hope we get to go through all of it, considering we do get the bat legs.
Yeah.
Hurry it up, will ya?
So the animations are super clunky, if you can notice that. I don't know if you can see that.
Let's go back a bit. Let's see. Little bit. You can see like they're going through a regular cycle, and then right there, small detail. The backpack. The backpack is a small detail.
It's just like flipping through his body and stuff.
we're joining Nightwing, also known as Dick
All right, pause it.
Grayson, midway through.
I want you. There's gonna be something that's gonna happen here. Tell me if you can spot it. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, in screen or?
Yeah, in screen.
All right, let
when
me
you play the
see every
trailer.
detail.
Through the game story as he patrols our city. All of the knights can unlock heroic ways of getting around the city. For Nightwing, it's his glider, the Flying Trapeze.
We like Fortnite.
The
We like.
regulators gang are engaged in a hacking crime, so it's time to bring some
I mean, like, in what other universe can you have Naruto, Batman, Thanos, and fucking Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty in one game?
Bro, it's like out of all the things, you already have grappling hooks. Hello?
True. Like, why would you need this, especially as Nightwing? Like,
It's gonna get ridiculous. I'm on copium right now. I'm telling you right now. But they got a Fortnite. They got my man's. He had to experience the toughest loss of his life, Batman, and the first thing he's gonna do is avenge City on a Fortnite glider. Imagine the world we live in.
what
The
happened to your
Gotham that it is.
training? Remember your
Yeah.
training, Nightwing. Come on, Grayson. Come on.
Our hero has fallen. He's truly
Exactly.
the lowest point right now.
So pretty much everyone's gonna have one of these. Is that what they're gonna be the
No.
case? No.
We don't know, but he will for sure.
On another note, though, I did see like in the pre-order exclusives, you do get like Batman Beyond suits, which is
Oh yeah, that's fucking dope.
Batman Beyond best Batman iteration in my book. I'm sorry, I'm biased.
Yeah,
But,
no,
like-
it's fantastic.
Yeah, but like if you do something like that, at least give them like the wingsuits where like how Terry did it, just just
The fact is this: you already have a motorcycle. And you have fucking grappling hooks. Why do you need a Fortnite glider?
right. Like if you're gonna take to the rooftops of Gotham, you're gonna grapple. You're gonna
Just let us-
grappling hook that.
Just give us Superman at that point. If
Exactly.
we're just gonna fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
some
It's even more
vigilante
ridiculous,
justice
though.
to the bad people.
All right, let's see. Okay, sure.
Each
I can
crime in
get
Gotham
behind
Knights
that.
plays like a mini game mode with rules and optional objectives.
Why? Just focus on one
Nightwing's fighting
dude
style is
and let them come to
acrobatic.
you.
He ping-pongs around
So
the
if I would,
battlefield.
if you want to pause real quick, so a lot of people notice that this guy, if you watch this person, whoever's playing this gameplay trailer, is
Mhm.
actually not really good at all.
No.
Like they're not really good at the game, because if you also the it doesn't help that the animations are dog shit. So like if you notice a lot of those hits don't actually land on the enemies.
Just
But you
relying
see
on the boxes.
You see the box of flash white or whatever, but he's not actually hitting them like at all.
Here,
It's
let's
kind of
let me mute this and just go in like 25.25 speed here.
and that's kind of why everyone's like, oh, that's why he's jumping around, because if you would to stay on one enemy, you would be like, okay, this dude just
Look at that. Look at that.
Watch.
Bonk.
Bonk.
What? That X right there.
That looks cool though.
Yeah.
But it
Like
just-
that
it
is
looks
that
so
is a
clunky.
solid takedown though.
Yeah, but it looks a little clunky. Like I don't know what they did with the animations. Like why was that guy flying like that? What the fuck?
Let's see this. Let's see this. What?
Boom, and then it cuts.
All
Okay,
right.
Now watch. Now this is gonna get even better.
All right. Let's see this in normal speed now.
Red Hood gained new abilities after
What?
being resurrected. Here, he uses Mystical Leap to move across the rooftops, springboarded by his own soul energy.
But why?
Successful.
Why have a grappling hook?
But why? Like
What?
I know about
Who
like
the-
the Lazarus pit and coming back from the dead from that, but
So the thing is it's somewhat canon, somewhat.
okay.
But from a gameplay perspective, if you're trying to show the scale of a city, why have a grappling hook? Why have a motorcycle and a guy who can literally jump on the sky? Like, why would I use a grappling hook ever? Why
Dude,
would I
that's
ever
like
use
that's
it?
like that's like making it so that way Ghost Rider can't use his motorcycle to get anywhere.
It's just, yeah. Oh, Ghost Rider can fly now. So he don't need a motorcycle.
Exactly.
It's
Like-
so crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
All right. Now I know there's gonna be some motorcycle
Attacks
gameplay
and
here,
dodges
but
build
like,
up my momentum bar below.
let's see.
Maybe.
And timing my strikes and combos correctly makes it build faster. Once the bar is full, heroes can unleash powerful.
See, okay, if there's anything that gun combat, like gunplay, felt right with in terms of a DC game, I'm gonna say Injustice. Playing like as a Deathstroke
Yeah.
main, call me out for whatever that is, but like
Mm.
he still
No,
beats
yeah.
the shit out of people and shoots them with it. Like
Yeah, and one of the things they're gonna show here, they're gonna show the armor system. I want to say that this is one of probably my biggest gripes with the game, is because I always compare it to Marvel's Avengers, because it was like the original trailer was a copy pasta, and they still have elements of the copy pasta, right? So like in Marvel's Avengers, you upgrade your equipment, but you don't ever change your appearance. So it's like why would I care about that? 'Cause you
right,
put on skins that you buy. They have the
right.
same shit.
It's the same. Like yeah, it's.
But
I'd rather take it that way though than where Cyberpunk 2077 did it, where it's like your cosmetics is your armor. I'm like,
sure, but this is the same franchise, or this is the same publisher who has access to the Injustice armor system. They could have put that in this game. They could have put that in this game. They could have put the Nemesis system in this game, probably the most complex system of any game system available right now.
Are you talking
They
about Shadows of
didn't.
Mordor Nemesis system?
Yeah, the Nemesis system. They could have put the armor system from Injustice, which is probably the best armor system of any game ever, or the Nemesis system in this game, but they didn't. So it's more of like they have access to so many good things that they have in other games.
Yeah,
But
like
they-
you have a bunch of tools at your disposal. Just stop
But they-
banging rocks together and use a screwdriver.
Yeah, but they just didn't put that in the game.
Hold on. Look at what they did right here with Nightwing's booty. Look at that. He's got some.
Bro, yeah, of
there,
course. He be doing all those flips. He better have a voluptuous butt. What the
Circus
fuck?
be treating him right. Look at that.
Yeah.
You see he's got those mad squat tights right there. That's a quality right there in my book.
Yeah, they got those animations right for sure. But look at this guy. Look at him.
Yeah, like at least like get in there and punch him with your gun. You know, you have that option too. Like
Yeah.
gun fu's been a thing for a lot of games now. Like, okay, here's that double takedown thing I was trying to mention though.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what?
He didn't even hit him with the gun. There he goes.
Okay, there. Okay, I get they were trying to do the setup, but still, like, come on.
Like, let me ask you this in a fight. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say they're fighting, right?
Right.
And one person's over there hitting him as the enemy aggroes whoever's
Mhm.
the closest. What is Red Hood gonna do? He's just gonna stand there and shoot? That's
Right.
exciting gameplay.
So here's
No.
that vehicle gameplay though that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, looks fucking dope.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like from like a co-op mechanic, you're literally just gonna have someone be an archer.
Yeah.
As soon as a boss fight happens, they're not involved.
Yep. He's sitting in the back and just grinding it out.
You're just pressing X the whole time, just standing there pressing X.
All right. That's
Now
pretty
watch the
cool.
way when you watch him walk. I want you to notice like how his composure doesn't actually match the way he
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Like
He's,
if
hunched
anything,
over.
you really need to like mocap those kinds of things with those with the character, especially like a character like Red Hood. Like you got to
Yeah.
mocap that.
Like
that.
why is he?
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand. So like when he's just resting, standing, like
Yeah.
why does he have his arms like that?
He's ready to scrap.
Yeah, but in the, like literally when Batman's done fighting, what does he do? He just stands up straight,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
He just stands there watching. Like he doesn't. Why do you need to hold your hands up the whole time? No normal person does that with guns.
Oh yeah.
He's like, you know what I mean? Like he's standing there like it's Mortal Kombat. Like it's not Mortal Kombat. This is an Arkham game, right?
Yeah.
Like look at him. The way he's standing, he's still doing it. He's what? Why is he walking like that? He's not in combat. Like that makes
All they
no
did was just
sense.
remove the Red Hood skin from him, and that's it. And bam.
Yeah, it's like what the you doing? Like, just make him a normal person. This is supposed to be
Yeah,
a
like
person.
I'm pretty sure the Bat kids are smart enough to be like, all right, cool, I'm in combat mode. You know, all right, I'm gonna keep my stance low. I'm ready to fight. But then when I'm in civilian mode, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just not gonna, not my problem. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah, and like, and the thing is, it's obviously it's a nitpick, but the fact is they've done it in the other games
Hmm.
perfectly fine. Sorry, perfectly fine. So like, it's one of those things where like, a lot of the mistakes they're making, I don't understand. Like, look at the suits, look at the stats. Like immediately Marvel Avengers. And then like when you get the collector's edition or any upgraded edition, you get boosts. Like, are they gonna start selling boosts? Like they did.
Oh, that
for
feels so pay to win.
I mean, they did it for Ubisoft's other games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can literally buy all the maps. You can, even though they put that in the game, like a single player game. So like they're just following the trends. Like,
Well,
and that's what's annoying.
yeah, that's the big thing right now is that like when it comes to a lot of what games are doing, is they're doing it to make a profit because that's the point of any
Exactly.
business. But my thing is like when you make a game, do it to have fun with it, make art, and that way the money will come to you afterwards. Make people want more to come back from you, rather than just consistently drip feeding people. That's my biggest gripe of the gaming system right now, I guess
Yeah.
you could say.
I wanna point out that
Yeah.
this game was delayed. Actually,
Again.
a little bit over a little over a year here,
Mm.
right? This is not like, oh, it's coming out next month. This has been delayed so many times. Like, there's no excuse for it to be this bad so far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should probably. I don't know if you can hear the voices. They sound weird. At least his voice
Here,
sounds
let's go
weird.
back a bit then, so that we could
Yeah.
start the
You
cutscene.
can actually listen. Yeah, listen to the dialogues.
At this point in the story, our characters are still processing the loss of Batman.
You could visit him.
I could what?
He went to yours when... You could visit his grave.
You haven't.
I'm not the one staring at that.
Okay, Nightwing sounds like how I'd expect Nightwing to sound, as like an older yeah.
Red Hood says Red Hood's all over the place.
Red Hood sounds like he still wants to be in the hood kind of sound
Yeah.
right now.
That's the guy from Toonami, by the way.
That's Tom?
Yeah. You hear his voice?
Little bit, yeah. It's got that gruff sounding Steve Blum type voice for sure.
Yeah. No, but like, did you notice they're doing the thing where like they're standing far apart and then taking turns talking, kind of thing? Like it's a telenovela.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're not really moving all too much. Almost like they put that stuff because they didn't actually plan the game correctly.
They focus on the mechanics and not the story.
Name one game that does that the whole game.
Halo 4.
Like, where they just stand there and talk.
Halo 5.
On, like, an empty area.
Halo 5.
I mean, but it's not the best Halo. You know what I mean?
True.
It's just, it got some good mechanics, gameplay wise, but story wise,
They were just filling in the spaces right there with 4 and 5 straight up.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is, you're showing story, but you're showing me like
Yeah,
telenovela.
let the body language have some subtle emotion in there, you know, just like a slump of a shoulder or
Sometimes
something
you
like
need
that, you know.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
Why you got your fist clenched, man? Come on. Okay, see, this makes sense.
Players can unlock fast travel to get around the city in a hurry.
But that's just
with
fast travel.
Bat.
Can we at least get the bat jet then? We're gonna do that?
So let me ask you this. Pause right there.
Anything cool?
Yeah.
Why would I use the Fortnite glider? Why would I use the grappling hook? Why would I use the bike? If I could just fly down.
Oh yeah. I'd say the biggest issue of a lot of open world games now is fast travel mechanics, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I think Elden Ring does it perfectly.
Mm.
Where it's like, you gotta get there and really get there.
To
But then
unlock
you
your
don't-
fast
you're-
travel.
Yeah, but you're really not gonna be there all that long unless you want to go back, right? Like, absolutely need something.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if this game continues the path of like, I'm gonna do the formula, they're gonna make you go back there to do some type of shit
Right.
because you gotta grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, to kind of run back to Elden Ring in terms of it, I'm all over the place. I've been back and forth between the Weeping Peninsula to what's it
Mhm.
called? To Caelid to I barely unlocked the Altus Plateau, and I've been back and forth everywhere because I want to 100% the game in one stroke kind of thing, right? That's just how I do it. So like, of course, I'm gonna come back to an area and fast travel, but like, I'm not gonna gallop my entire way there. That's uninteresting sometimes. But
Yeah,
I'm still gonna be thorough.
I just wish like I know I sound like I'm hating the game, and like honestly I am, but like I just think that there's I don't know. Speaking of the heart, the Arkham games, not just I'm a DC fanboy, right? The Arkham games just did the shit right, and when you're looking at this, you're like, where did you stop? What did you had the shit that's already good? Just show us that. Like, you don't even have to get crazy with it, with motherfucker walking on the sky. Like, you didn't have to do that. We're simple people. We would have been fine with the glider. We hated the Batmobile. We don't even want that. You just give us the fucking glider. We're fine with that. Because it's
Yeah.
like Spider-Man. It's like Spider-Man, right? One of the coolest things is swinging with the web.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's give Spider-Man a Fortnite glider and a Batmobile.
But why?
right? And let them walk on the sky. But it takes away from the feeling of that grappling. I'm a guy. I'm Batgirl. I'm gonna freaking
I'm just
grapple
gonna.
hook, pull
Yeah.
myself up, and then glide.
Hmm.
I'm
Like
just
yeah,
saying.
I get it. Like it's one thing to go from the highest point and then glide from point A to point Z, but
Exactly.
like that's only if I need to like cover that massive ground, Like
Hmm.
beyond that, if I'm like, oh shoot, okay, I got to go from up there to down there. All right, cool. I could just jump off the roof. Easy enough.
Yeah. So one of the mechanics that for
Mhm.
fast travel, or like there was fast travel, but I didn't ever use it.
Yeah.
All the hardcore Arkham fans really didn't do it. I mean, I guess most people really, because there was a gliding mechanic. You would grapple up to the highest building, glide down, like nosedive, and then expand your wing thing, your glide
Hmm.
suit, and then just like propel back up, and you could just skyline like
Yep.
up, down, and glide. But that was fun, and you can get creative with like doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Um, but like, there's no incentive, and I understand none of these. I think Batgirl's the only one that has something like that.
Mm.
But you can be like, hey, just expand what the grappling hook can do, like to actually not just go straight forward, but swing around buildings. Not like don't make a Spider-Man simulator, but you could,
Yeah.
right?
I'm like, because technically that is what Batman does. Batman technically does
Yeah,
what Spider-Man
you
does.
you could technically swing around the building once you hit the grappling hook at the top,
Yeah.
right? Like, but they didn't do that. They just kept it the same, but then they added some random ass shit. So that's anyway. Go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm
No. Like
just
we just don't need that much of that.
Court of
Let's see.
Owls, a secret society as old as Gotham itself, run the city behind closed doors, according to the old poem anyway.
Okay, but how does that line up with what Penguin said?
If this all-powerful court really is out there, they might be the ones getting all those creeps out of Blackgate.
Now, in terms of the Batman lore, like I know the Court of Owls is actually a really important like plot point that hasn't been touched yet in any media of the Batman or DC franchise verse of things. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, it is in an animated film, but it's not like they didn't really go really deep into it.
right.
Um,
Like it's only a surface level type thing.
hmm I think it's kind of like it's a defining chapter in what comes next to Batman, right? Because this is I don't know how I hope they don't go like too hard on the canon, honestly, because like it's somebody who pays every year for DC Universe, the comic shit. Like they don't need to do that, right? And I understand maybe for people who don't read comics that'll be good, but I think there's a lot of things you can do with just that story and go in different places because they're everywhere. That literally is like the ultimate. It's like in the same way Marvel has the multiverse and now you can explain a bunch of stories to make sense. That's what you can do with the Court of Owls because they're just everywhere. Granted, it is already an interesting story, but if they wanted to make it more complex, they could. And I hope they do that, not just for like DLCs and stuff, but because
Yeah,
there's so many smaller stories you can tell that would just be easy to tell because it makes sense.
right.
The
And like
foundation's there.
and the video game and using a video game as your medium to do that kind of stuff, it's a lot more you have a lot more leeway in what is possible and what kind of fights you can have and what kind of story you can tell and what kind of interactions and how you can lead up to a different kind of ending
Hmm.
in your adventures too. Like imagine
Yeah,
like if they did it where you did have four players but you all did had different like key elements that you might have interacted on, that can actually help influence your combined story experiences too, even.
yeah. I mean, there's just so much potential, and I think that's what's concerning for um, a lot of fans and kind of not just fans but content creators, right? Like it's ever since Cyberpunk, I think everyone's kind of like, there's just too much potential here. We're scared to touch it full on.
We
Granted,
don't
there's
want to do it
DC.
wrong.
Exactly. We don't want to be the Cyberpunk guys, right? We don't want to be the Cyberpunk people, right? We want to. I mean, there's DC content creators. They're gonna do that no matter what. But the rest of us are just like, we're gonna wait. Like we just there's a lot of potential, but we're seeing a lot of shit that don't make sense.
Yeah,
So, um,
like you have your dedicated fans, you have the dedicated
yeah,
fan base who knows what's up. We get it.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you need to take your time to fix your shit, take the
Yeah.
time to fix your
And
shit.
like, honestly, like, I think that's kind of one of the things too I've been struggling with this game is like I'm gonna play it and like stream it because like one of the toot my own horn, one of the biggest you know streams I've ever had was actually my Arkham streams. Um, because we would do like Riddler's trophy stuff like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And because the community is fucking awesome. They're great. They're hardcore though. They're like hardcore like Andes. They're kind of like Elden Ring, right? Where they're but Elden Ring's a little bit more. It's more open to everybody. It's not as niche anymore, right? Whereas
Right. Like Elden Ring,
Arkham,
like in the Souls series, used to be like, get fucking good on my level kind of thing.
yeah.
But
I mean,
like,
Arkham is kind of like that right now because it's super niche. But
yeah.
yeah, it's a we're too many people on the fence, and I think they need to do more to convince people otherwise.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like I said, of the DC games, I know I'm gonna want to get Suicide Squad just because I'm a huge fan of the Suicide Squad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
my key critiques on that game is: are they gonna be able to do the characters justice? Are they gonna be able to do the story justice? Gameplay wise, you know, at least everyone's got their own style. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Like honestly, I wish they would have just brought Gotham City Imposters back. Like if they
Going
need
back to that,
revenue,
hell yeah.
if they
Yeah.
need revenue, like they literally could have just
Yeah,
brought
if
that
you
back.
want like a live games as a service thing, go with the Call of Duty method, you know, and like battle passes, and Gotham City
Make-
Imposters would be a great like 50v50 type.
Yeah, it would have
Battle
been
Royale
perfect. Battle
game.
Royale. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Easy, and it explains itself. Like because no one's gonna take it serious.
Exactly.
Story wise. But also, you could have made it like an Overwatch. It was already kind of like an Overwatch, but it was
Yeah,
team
actually,
deathmatch
yeah.
mostly.
Like you had like you can either be like a heavy tank type dude, you could be a medic, you could be the light scout one, yeah. Like
Absolutely.
yeah. It was a great like TF2 clone essentially. TF2 COD clone.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy too is they could have used that live service. Like, there's kind of like I'm not against like grindy games as I play MMOs. Like I get it.
Right.
And I'm not against like MMO hybrids, like the hybrid MMOs, like Destiny and all that. I just
Warframe.
think that like Warframe, uh, the Division's kind of, but not really, like weird. It's like a MMO hybrid light. Weird.
Yeah. It's still a looter shooter. It's still a looter shooter.
Yeah. They're not as like invested into the story like a Destiny or Warframe would be.
Mhm.
But I think they could have done that, just not with the games that are the most serious ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Like single player and co-op experiences. Let's clarify that. Because
Yeah.
as a multiplayer experience, like there's the PvP side, shitheadery, do whatever you want. Single player
Yeah.
co-ops, let us experience the story with friends.
It's like saying, "Hey guys, like, this is what made your franchise, this whole game, the Arkham series,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, you just can't. You gotta stay as close as you can to what makes it good, and just make a whole different game separate. You
Yeah.
don't have to kill Batman. If you don't want to. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to get that dramatic. But
But if you're
We'll
gonna
see.
do something as big as killing Batman, well, be ready to handle the repercussions.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what's crazy too. It's like, okay, so you're gonna kill. So I want you to go when you go play them, you'll understand a lot of the frustration because the storytelling is amazing in all of them, and so is the gameplay in all of them. Origins had a rough time, but in fairness, that game was made in like 2 years. They screwed over the devs on that deal.
Mhm.
That's the only reason why I give it a lot of leeway. It's like they did pretty good for only 2 years.
Yeah. Like
Kind of.
and that's the other thing too in terms of just like game dev is like especially after hanging out a lot in VR and just like the amount of time I take just to like edit one like just one skin on an avatar and then like taking the time to upload that and then edit it, you know. I now understand like how much devs go through of just that process and to do every aspect with everybody on a team in the course of 2 years, it's not enough in reality. Like it
Yeah.
can be enough, but you know, if you want AAA, you got to give it that time to breathe.
Absolutely. But I think, but that's also one of the things where like, And I think that's another. I'm gonna say like one of the reasons why people are also frustrated is because like this team ain't. They're pretty good. We know that they're good. It's
Yeah.
not like, for example, it's not like a Bioware situation where all the old heads left and it's not good. Like it's just like a whole different people, right?
Yeah.
It's not like what was the studio that the Destiny devs came from? It was an Activision studio, but which I don't remember which one it was. But it's like,
High Moon Studios.
was
I
it
think.
High Moon
Was it no? Is either High
or
Moon
was
Vicarious?
or War? Was it No, it wasn't Warhammer. I don't know why I'm saying it. Sledgehammer. Was it Sledgehammer Games?
Sledgehammer Studios
Anyway,
did something else. They were more on the Black Ops series, weren't they?
I don't remember. But
Something
it's
like
like
that.
kind of like that situation where it's like, oh, you still got the name. No, like this is the same studio.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing Warner Brothers has been good at is actually keeping their studios. Unlike just EA, who's just like buys a studio and like throws them away once they're done.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like RIP my Dead Space, but like it's never gonna be the same. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Even
Literally
though they
whole
are
new people.
remastering Dead Space, it's not the
Yeah,
same thing.
it's just whole new people. Like it's just you need the
Hmm.
people there. Like those. That's why they're so important.
Yep.
But
Yeah, because like they have that experience. They know they have again. I'm going to use this word intimate experience with the nitty gritty of what made that game
yeah.
special. That heart that was in there.
Now that being said, you could also argue that maybe even though this is the same team of people, a lot of the same faces, right? You could say, oh, because they knew that they were shopping around to get rid of them,
Hmm.
Warner Brothers, maybe they didn't feel as invested into this game,
Yeah.
right?
Like
So I sympathize with that. I get it.
yeah. And I understand like why sometimes studios have to downsize. It makes sense.
Hmm.
Like it sucks. It happens, but when a budget requires it, it's gonna
Hmm.
happen.
But
So
also, they announced Suicide Squad in this game in the same year to release in the same year, and then delayed both. So like, I don't know what Warner Brothers is all over the place. Like, there's no excuse.
and then I think I saw recently somewhere in the news Warner Brothers wants to sell like as a whole. Like they just want to like
Oh yeah,
not
they want to
Paramount.
get
Yeah,
they
but
want to merge with somebody. I forgot who it was. No, Discovery. They're merging with Discovery, I think, or whatever their names are. They do
mm,
all like the HTV and all them. So
mm.
they're merging with them, which is crazy. That's a huge merger for
It
like
is.
television stuff. But, um, anyway, but there's just no excuse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
All in all.
Like I don't know. And then same thing. I think something with Cartoon Network, but that's a whole nother discussion that we could talk about later on.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Like yeah. What?
You saw
Wait.
you saw his leg?
Yeah, that was jank as fuck. Hold on a minute. That felt way too slow, but it tried to be so fast.
Now, does that remind you of Mass Effect Andromeda at all?
Oh, dude, I avoided that game like the plague.
Yeah, the janky animations.
That was incredibly jank. All right, that's smooth. That was a smooth
Yeah.
takedown. Okay, like
Granted, one of the hits didn't even hit him, but
yeah,
it was still smoother. Yeah, than
yeah.
what just happened.
Like I went back to Assassin's Creed 1. I pulled some of the dumbest stuff in that game, like just the way I recovered on missing a jump on a building. But when I missed a
Mhm.
jump, you see you missed a jump.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But you can walk on the sky now, so don't worry.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, you get a classic investigator
Now,
vision.
now I'd pause that real quick.
Yeah.
So when you were Batman, it would force you to change your whole like you weren't pulsing. You would literally have to look.
Ah.
What game does that remind you of?
Oh, with the with like the vision like this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Witcher.
The Witcher, I think Horizon has it.
Hmm.
But Assassin's Creed kind of has a similar-ish
With the
thing
Eagle
to
vision,
it.
yeah.
Yep. How many games have it? You had a mechanic where like you literally had to put on like literally change your entire vision
Yep. Like
to just
so.
to this. It's like, well, why would you do that? Like, there's no point.
Yeah. Like if they did something like that with like say Splinter Cell, that's not gonna fly. Like you need to
No,
have
it
that
wouldn't.
iconic, you need to have that ping,
Mm-hmm.
especially
But
like
you,
yeah.
I was gonna say you can unmute it too.
Oh yeah.
They
Well,
they do talk about it a little bit, but it's not as important really. it.
All right, let's just hear what they have to say about it. Oh.
Augmented reality vision helps the heroes solve puzzles and investigate mysteries.
More like gives them the answers.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no, like... So the whole thing about Batman is he's the world's greatest detective. And I'm sure he'd teach that to the rest of them. So, like... I don't know. Like, with the Batvision stuff, like, I can get it that they do have it implemented. But again, like, switching modes, like you said, is, like, a key element to that. Like, it makes sense that he would.
It gets actually crazy. So, like, when you switch modes, it actually, in some games, puts you in first person. So you literally have to walk around and look. Oh shit, there's a bullet. There's a hole in that. There's a hole in that window. And there's a dead guy here. Oh, someone shot him? Who could shoot that far away?
Dead shot.
There you go. Like it's like literally like it
You
makes
put
sense.
the pieces together.
Whereas this, you're just fucking pulsing. You're just
Yeah.
like it's like Red Dead. You're looking for the herbs that you're gonna pick up.
Yep. I'm gonna relate this back to the original Assassin's Creed since that's the most freshest game I've played. The freshest, oldest game I've played is like when you do the Eagle Vision, it stops you and it takes you into first person view. And then when you go out, it still has that resonant, but like, you know, you still have to pause.
But it's making you are the character looking.
Like you are in the shoes of the detectives.
Exactly. This is not the character looking. You're looking over the character.
Yeah, hidden mechanism. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can understand your frustrations on that right there.
It's just they were doing it right the first time. Why would they change it? Look how janky the AI is. You see that?
Yes. He had the AI had that been any other game, I would have been stun locked right there on the spot and just like
yeah. He's like you're flipping doing nothing. You're flipping doing nothing, and he just like runs.
Like I can only imagine how hard mode AI would. What is that shield thingy? Excuse me?
Ah, hello. Yes. What is this short shield that flies across the room that replenishes your shields? What dumb shit is this? In no Arkham game did you ever have that.
Right.
And not only that, if you had low health, the only way you can get your health back is like you literally had to heal. You had to go somewhere to heal. And that wasn't everywhere. So like if you got your ass beat and you were at 1 bar,
that was your fault.
Yes, your fault. You're Batman. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
You need to stealth your way through a fight.
Yeah. Now, granted, you can upgrade your character to get better health, right? But that's why the game was so niche. Like you actually had to be good.
Oh yeah.
At the harder difficulties. Like it was just.
I'm gonna relate this back to another classic game that I will always love, but will forever wait for a sequel for Star Wars Republic Commando. We're like, yeah, dude. Now that's a great game with great teamwork mechanics. Like you had one dude as your demolitions expert, one dude as your sniper, one dude as your hacker. You know, everyone played their part, and if one of them went down, you had to have the other two cover you while you heal the fourth guy. And then, like, the only time you can ever get full heals was if you went to a health station on the way.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's like they took out kind of
the risk factor. Yeah.
The risk. Yeah. And it's like, and that's what's concerning. It's like, if the story is good and it is high stakes, if the gameplay I'm playing has no risk,
why play it at all?
Why play it at all? I just watch the cutscenes on YouTube. Fuck this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I completely get that. Uh-oh. No.
And just I guess before we start, sorry, my bad. Just
no,
like
I was thinking.
Double down on that. Every time you died in the game, you get a cutscene from the enemy that killed you. It'd be like, oh, look at him, we killed the bat. Like that's being like, hey, you should probably not suck. Right? It's like,
yeah,
there's that they were leaning into it, but they also gave you the tools to be good, to make it easy. Like it could be an easy game if you knew how to stack your. It's kind of like Elden Ring.
Yeah,
like if you play a mage, you can really finesse the game, make it easy mode.
Oh yeah, I learned that last night when I was fighting Radon.
Yeah, that's what I did with my first playthrough. That's what I fucking got the gravity staff and just early game and just started like three-piecing everybody with the meteor strike.
Hmm.
It's just, but that's what I'm saying. Like it gave you the tools. Whereas this, it's like, well, how long
They're
can we
just
stretch the
handing it
game
to
for?
you rather than you earn
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like this. Why are they all standing there while you're shooting it, waiting for them
Right.
to shoot at you?
Had this been
Or
Elden
yeah.
Ring, I would have been slapped by everybody at the same time in the worst possible way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Or even
And
Assassin's Creed. Like, I was able to chain kills. What is that? What?
that's a owl warrior that shoots shit from his shields. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think you're gonna go to a fight and just spam non-lethals at that guy?
No.
No, you're gonna go over there and beat his ass.
Exactly.
But
And
what are
this
you
is
gonna
one where
do?
you need the teamwork between 4 players straight up.
Yeah,
Like this dude here is straight up out for blood. Like you can't not.
it's just like he boosted himself and then he does all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. But like, why? Just make the fight worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I understand not everything could be Elden Ring, but it's like
Right.
this is coming out after a point where everyone's been tired of the same shit,
Yeah. Like
and they
we
delayed it.
want that challenge now. Like
Mm-hmm.
gloves are
We
off.
just
We're done with
we
easy
just want
mode.
yeah, just make the game good. We don't care if it's hard
Yeah.
or if it's not as accessible to everybody. Like, just
There's a reason why games with easy mode exist. Like
yeah, it's like I as a Batman fan, I was more excited about the fucking Harry Potter game than this fucking game. 'Cause I was like, holy shit, that's something different,
I think
and
that's
they
something
made
we
it
can definitely talk
exciting.
about on another video for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'd be down to come in
I
on
have
that.
not
I'm
seen
probably
anything about the Harry Potter games, so like
oh bro, it's like I played them growing up. Like, am I a big Harry Potter fan? Not really.
hmm.
But I like vampires and like dark fantasy more than I ever like wizard shit,
Hmm.
you know? But no, it's the combat's way more exciting on that. And you can tell by the studio who made it. It's like
Hmm.
a little bit more passionate than what this did. But like no, it's not
This is
it's
like
so
what
disappointing.
Sly Cooper would be if Sly Cooper tried to take itself too seriously.
Hmm.
That's what it feels like to me.
But the game still looks amazing. So it's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
wild
it
too.
looks gorgeous. By all means and hands down.
You just get whiplash from like all the random shit, like clanky, janky movement, but like the cutscenes, it's like
If I had a
the movement,
motorcycle, I'd
man.
want something like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like that's pointless because you can walk on the sky.
I know, right? Uh Yep, that's just a big video of gripes right there.
Like, go to the comments. Go to the comments.
All right, let's do it. Game looks great. It needs another whole year of development. Yep. Does actually listen and remove the enemy health bars and damage numbers. Looking fantastic so far. Can't wait to see more of the villains. Yep. Looks good. My only real concern is like the 4 main characters have elemental themes that seem pretty forced. Red Hood, Magic, and Nightwing with ice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got like if you're gonna do that, then make sure you have all 4 players accessible. Honestly.
But let me ask you this:
Hmm.
what other game does that shit? Every other game like that's like an RPG has some element to that.
Hmm.
Specifically, the Marvel Avengers. They had Gamma. They had Physical. They had like
Yep.
it's just there's no reason for all that shit. There's no point.
Oh boy.
Keep reading the comments. There's so many good comments though. I'm gonna go over there
Yeah,
type
let's
real
see.
fast.
Okay. Let's see. I take the graphics with a grain of salt since it's still in dev. But Red Hood soul stepping seems a bit out of reach for me, as is the combat. I like the concepts, but they've gone with it. It seems really clunky. Hey, there's a key word there. You all seen these characters play is in Arkham Knight. You'd expect some inspiration of playstyle. Yes, they're not from the same continuity. Looks
Oh
like
yeah, and some of those characters are in the other games, so
Yep.
it
Yep.
makes no sense.
Red Hood looks a little stiff, but that makes sense since he's really buff in this. It would be really cool. That soul magic could be put into his attacks. Yeah, that would make a
Except
lot
what I
more
was
sense.
yeah, and also get rid of the fucking gun. Like, you have all these powers now. Go punch a guy. Like,
Yeah.
ain't no.
Nah. Like, yeah,
Mm.
it's like make up your mind. Do you want Magic Red Hood or do you want Gunslinger Red Hood?
Yeah.
Something's off here. I think the character movement, because this looks really like a really good mobile game. Hoping to see graphic and mobility improvements closer to release.
Mm-hmm.
Red Hood fires non-lethal rounds. 20 seconds later, Nightwing kicks a man off a building to their untimely death.
What did I say though? It just like this. What is the point of this? Like half this fight.
Yep. I was hyped for this one until this demo. Looking more like Marvel's Avengers. Fingers crossed, combat gets smoothed out and has more free flow look around like in older Arkham games. I like the source material, but not enough to give it a go though. Yep. Yep. Oh look, and you can see what my YouTube algorithm consists of on the side. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good algorithm right there, actually.
Oh yeah, dude. I've
It's a good variety.
Between my HoloLive incessant viewing and like just a mix of just studying game dev and just philosophy and shit. So yeah.
Hey, you want to know a little secret?
What's up?
So if you want to start live, I'm not saying you should live stream on YouTube, but because you are, so a lot of the things you get recommended to are from people who you follow and what they watch. And what people who follow you watch. So for example, if you subscribe to me, I live stream. So if you scroll down,
Yeah.
how many live streams do you watch on YouTube?
Not as much as I like to admit.
When's the last time you watched a live stream?
Oh god, like 2 weeks ago, it was a HoloLive live stream because it was a hold on.
But big events, right?
Yeah,
But,
pretty much big events, yeah.
which by the way, that video is pretty funny.
Also, for those of you on YouTube, make sure to go follow our friend GATOATTACK, right there.
Yay! Help me hit 2,000.
Hell yeah, we're right there. We're right there.
We're so close. But if you go to your algorithm, back to the Gotham Knights video.
Yeah.
If you scroll down, you get a lot of recommendations to live because you're subscribed to a live streaming channel. So if you wanted to stream, and the people who subscribe to you you'll get recommended to everybody. Like, how do I say, like,
here's everything that is on my live listings right now. Mostly music. It's mostly music stuff.
Oh shit, never mind. That's probably why. You're subscribed to so many people who stream.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Because you watch all those, if you were to go live, the algorithm would favor you. But you would have to stick to streaming. That's the only problem.
Yeah. And so, like I said, with how I want to do my content, I want to do YouTube. I want to be a little bit more focused on conversational topics and like be able to do basically smart stuff on YouTube. Lack of a better phrase, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not one to do more quick quips, ha-has here and there's. Like, if something's funny in a video, it's funny because it came up in conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, but if you ever want to make the switch over, you know, I'll help you optimize or figure out all that stuff. I can still help you anyway, but that's just something to think about. Like,
I was thinking of investing in Streamlabs Prime so I could simulcast pretty much. Because I'd be down to do that.
I actually recommend, before we get back to Gotham Knights, I would actually recommend against that. Because here's the biggest mistake people think is like, like, for example, notice how I grew tremendously versus my Twitch, right? So my Twitch is 550, probably less than that now because people unsubscribe. But my YouTube in less time has grown dramatically because I am focused entirely on one audience. Because YouTube people who watch YouTube streams are dramatically different Twitch communities. And so if I'm going to get in the mindset of streaming, granted, I basically act the same I would on Twitch. But when it comes to introducing new people and like getting them to watch more and more, the culture of watching long form content on YouTube is it's hit or miss. Like, it's either people watching when they're asleep or they're watching live. Like, it's no in between. So like, that's why, for example, if you look at this YouTube short I have, 7 views, but then a motherfucking 3-hour long ass stream has 42. The fuck?
Right.
And I can tell you right now, the average watch time is about an hour and a half. But that's after I already published it, after the live stream was done. And then look at the video before that, 16 views.
Yeah.
Dog shit. One before that, 47. The fuck? And it's because I had that mentality of like, this is a whole different group of people. They're not watching it. If they're not watching it live, I need to record like I'm live, but they're watching the VODs. That's why in every single one, if you like click the last one, I'm talking like I'm recording because people are going to
Okay.
watch the VODs either when they're sleeping or when I'm not live.
Yep.
So it's just something to think about. Whereas Twitch, people are only there when you're live. People don't watch
True.
the VODs on Twitch.
It's
Just
funny you
something to think
say
about.
that actually, because I always treat it as if I am like recording, which technically yes, because my issue is I
Absolutely.
tend to stream long ass hours where I'm like streaming for 6 hours straight. And then like I always say I'm gonna come back, chop up this piece of the stream out, post that to YouTube. I never
Mhm.
end up doing it because it's a 6 hour long stream. I'm not gonna. It's a pain in
Oh,
my ass to do that.
it's gonna take like 13 hours just to upload it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or at least
Yeah.
just like to find that one nugget of gold that was in there that happened.
Yeah,
And
and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be successful. You just have to be like, you know,
to know
but
your
you do,
audiences on what you're doing.
yeah. And honestly, you already like do the things that you would do on YouTube to be successful. So like, if you migrated over, I'm sure you'd be fine. You just have to optimize and
Yeah.
like really look at the numbers, which that honestly, like, it's really not that hard. You just have to have somebody explain what any of that means.
My big issue is, and like this is something I might talk on the podcast later when we go film it over in VR chat. And if you want to come on, if you want to come aboard and talk there too, like talk shop there, I'd be more than
Hmm.
happy to have you on board too.
Yeah.
Is that like I don't want to see my viewers as numbers. I want to see my
Oh
viewers as
no, of
individuals.
course.
You know.
No, but you also need to know who's watching you, like why they watch you,
True.
right?
True.
Like, it's like new people on Twitch. How do you know someone's like how does someone find you? Oh, because you were under a category. Why are they still watching you? What other streamers do they watch? You know what I mean? Like, for example, like if you go down
Yeah.
on my videos, so I'll show you. So let's look at
I remember you doing the Zenith stream.
so like look at the variety of games. So we went from Treka Yumi, Red
Mhm.
Dead, Dune, Poppy Time, Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead, Red Dead, to a video
Right.
that got 18 views that I put a lot of effort to. And it still frustrates me to this day that I can't make videos and the algorithm won't. No one will watch that shit. They rather watch an hour and a half of a stream than a 10-minute video, right? Like, I just don't know. I don't know what to do. But that's like, as much as I want to make a video, that's not my audience. That's just
Right.
not it. Like, that's just part of it. But the thing is, it's like, if you, Final Fantasy, for example, I did Final Fantasy 33, Back for
Mm.
Blood 31. Like, those are vastly different games. Why are they still sitting at the same
Same
amount
average.
of views? Yeah, right?
And like it comes back a lot to just the rule of streaming as a whole is come for the game, stay for the personality. That's usually it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But at the same time, what the numbers help you understand is kind of like, well, how much are they watching? At what point did they stop watching? What'd you say? What'd you do? Would you change the subject, or you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, it's not like you're not seeing people as numbers. You're just seeing how can I reach
How,
the people who already watch me and like would fit in my community. Because like there's people that come into the community, like the channel, they don't
mhm.
fit in the community, and I usually let them know like, hey, you're probably not gonna vibe with us because we all like to play games and chill. You
Right.
know, people in my Discord know, like we're pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Pretty self
You're
aware.
like I love how you have that whole setup and it's just like, yo, let's do this kind of thing. All right, let's go.
Yeah, like, you know, I've actually caught people in my community being assholes about the channel, right? Because they're like, they're super, they're not like they're we're very protective about who gets to be part of the community, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, we also are open to reaching out. That's
Yeah,
part of
and
like,
bringing more people along.
yeah, and that's kind of like, if understanding who your audience is and who would fit. Like, you can people just go, it's fine for people to watch. Just make content people to watch. But when it
Yeah.
comes to when you're actually live, that's when you start doing the people stuff and kind of sorting who would fit, who wouldn't.
And I think
Because
that's
it's
something that is a lot different about the content creation game now compared to earlier, to like the earlier iterations of like the old guard, I'm gonna say like Mark, Jack, and Mark, Jack, Septiceye.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
those guys. Yeah.
100%. I think YouTube is a bad example because it's YouTube. Like it's for the views. It's always been about the views. Like even live streaming on there, I'm competing about against actual videos, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I'm streaming Red Dead, I'm streaming against all the Red Dead videos ever to just get seen, right? So when
Oh, I
you
like
see
that
what I'm
kind of
saying?
competition though. Just like, how can I make myself stand out versus the other one?
But look at the those 5 days that I did Red Dead.
Yeah.
31, 90, 79, 29, 47, and then I went back to 55,
Mm.
right? Because I with YouTube, you can actually have some metric of how you get better. Whereas
Mm.
Twitch, it's all over the fucking place. It's all who's live, who isn't, what's the game that just came out. Like there's so much shit that you
Oh
can't
yeah,
factor
in terms
for.
of that algorithm, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Whereas
dude,
like
and there's something I love talking about. It's manipulating the numbers.
yeah, like whereas like YouTube, it's like let's say
Yeah.
you're a Red Dead channel.
Yep.
I'm going to you for Red Dead. You're either there or you're not. You know what I mean?
True.
Or your
And I guess if I was to
personality.
do more Destiny content, I could do it that way too. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm just saying you just have to understand that you're given tools to just reach out to people who would have already fit in your community anyway. It's
Yeah.
just on YouTube, that's not the norm. It's never been the norm. And it
Yeah.
doesn't actually reward you because you grow a lot slower.
Mm.
Um, but
It's
just
definitely a slower burn, whereas like the Twitch game can be good in terms of it. It's incredibly competitive because everyone's on Twitch now. And
yeah, it's the problem where you have more streamers than you do have viewers, right?
yeah,
Whereas at least YouTube, you have dramatically more viewers than you have streamers.
because YouTube's
So,
accessible anywhere you go, whatever country you're in.
but I
Yep.
think if you're just looking at it from like a longevity perspective, I would just say how many streamers are on Twitch versus how many are on YouTube. Not many on YouTube. Okay, maybe I should go over there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a lot
true.
harder. It's a lot harder, but it's a lot more rewarding. It's like the analogy I give is like it's your own island. You can do
Hmm.
whatever the fuck you want, but if you fail, it's your island. It's your fault,
Yep.
right? Whereas Twitch, it's like there's so many factors, but there's a lot of luck that can happen. That
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or you get raided randomly, right? Like YouTube doesn't have raids. I mean, they do, but they don't. It's not the same.
They do, but they don't. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
And that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. But that luck is like it can make you or break you. But at the same time, it's like it's there. That's a cool opportunity. Like it's not like that. It's not.
Hmm.
You know. So it's a lot of things. But yeah, we got on a whole rant about YouTube.
Hey, you
I
know
always
what? That's what we do on this channel. We talk about everything nerdy.
yeah, and you know, look, look, and I know I'm always gonna sound like I'm defending YouTube, like I'm simping for it because I'm over there, and look, I went from like zero growth to like growth, but I still kept the community. It can happen.
Hmm.
It's just a lot harder work.
Oh yeah.
It's just a lot harder to do it and make
Oh
it.
yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
It's just yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I think that would also be a fun way of being able to do like me with how I do co-streams and stuff where I love coming on
Hmm.
to other people's streams and like,
Yeah,
giving them that boost. So like I think you gave me an idea on like how I can reform a little bit of my channel and just redo a lot of what I do on my streams. And in
hmm
terms of just like what we're doing now in terms of content. So definitely again something we talk shop when we get into VR about. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we can. This can go on forever, but it's just another. Like, there's just so much to it
Oh yeah.
that
Uh
that's left undiscovered too.
oh yeah.
Just
Tricky
so much
Shrek,
to
if
it.
you're still in the chat right now, let me know. We might swap around some of the stream plans and go right into VR chat.
Oh yeah, but no, we can wrap up Gotham Knights real quick.
Yeah,
There's
this is definitely good a good wrap up for the Gotham Knights part of the stream.
yeah,
So, if you aren't already, go follow Gato Attack over on YouTube. When this does go to YouTube, as always, make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notified when we post new videos on up. Haha. See if I can say that 10
yeah,
times faster.
yeah. So, super. Thank you everybody for having me and you
Hell yeah,
hear me on the
dude.
channel. Thank you so much for having me again. I'm gonna keep saying that. But yeah, whenever you need some drama, or insight or just a rant, yeah, you
Hell
let me
yeah,
know.
dude. I'm down.
And if
I'm down.
and look, if you ever want to have like more YouTube discussions and all that, I'm all here.
Oh yeah.
And also, you know, obviously I'm gonna upload a cut of mine over there on the channel, which is why I dragged out the conversation because like let's say the conversation lasted 30 minutes, right?
Oh yeah.
Nobody would watch that shit. But we've been talking for an hour and a we talking for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's
Like my recording just hit
that's
the hour and a half mark just now.
isn't that funny? That's my average view time.
Hell yeah. Let's do
So
it.
I hit the window that I needed. So I'm just kidding. No, but it do be like that sometimes. But that's what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying. Like, if it's anything under an hour and a half, no one's gonna watch it for me. So
I feel that, man.
it's pure Spain without the S sometimes.
Hell yeah.
But
I'm gonna end that
anyway,
recording right here. Boop.